Wait there just 1 second. That's the wrong mask.
Of course it's the right mask.
No, it's not.
Of course it is.
How do you know?
Because the packaging had Halloween mask written on it.
Did you buy it from a Halloween shop?
Yes, of course.
I give up. I give up. You may continue. I just give up. Hello YouTube, Ash here. Welcome to another episode of Special Talks. Today I will be doing another movie review, and this time I will be reviewing Halloween 2018. So yes, I have to specify that it's the 2018 version because there's already been the Halloween, which is the classic 1978 version, and the Rob Zombie remake, which was also called Halloween. Yes, and now there's Halloween 2018. These guys really need to work on their titles. I thought the Predators was bad because Predator. Now we've got Halloween, and Halloween. We need new titles, people. We need new titles. So the film is directed by David Gordon Green and stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Judy Greer, and is a real sequel to the 1978 version, as they disregarded all the sequels and the remakes and just made it as a proper sequel to that film. So was it worth the wait? Let's get into it. So the plot of the film: Michael Myers has escaped. Yes, he's escaped again. Yes, these guys definitely need better security. Anyway, so he's intent on returning home and having the best Halloween ever, filled with murder. Wait a minute, I think I actually used that in my original review. Yeah, this film just seems so much like the original review that I'm even using the same material. Yeah. However, there is something different, as Jamie Lee Curtis is too old to play a teenager. She's now a grandmother. So Laurie Strode is a grandmother, and also she's gone all Sarah Connor. She's been preparing for Michael's return. She's got pistols, she's got shotguns, she's got traps. Yes, it all builds up to a massive battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. So let's get ready to rumble. And that's the plot. So this film is very similar to the 1978 version, and it could be that writers Danny McBride and David Gordon Green are big fans of the original. Yes, so it's almost like a tribute to that film. So what was good and what was bad? Well, the main positive is that yes, this is a film that feels like the original version, not like the sequels which went all bombastic and in some cases a different direction. No, this feels like a proper sequel to that film. Even the camera shots, the use of lighting, the slow paced, it feels very much like a direct sequel. However, you can definitely tell that it's been updated as 40 years have passed, and also the kills are much more violent. I think they realized that modern horror crowds like their horror films to be more violent and more gory, and yes, this definitely has upped the ante in that respect. The body count is much bigger than the original, and also the kills are much more violent. However, some of them are really good kills. There's one that definitely stuck in my mind where we're basically zooming in on a window, and then we see Michael Myers go into the house behind the person who's on the phone and kills him while the camera just stays still. That was just an excellent shot. So yeah, the kills in this film are much more violent, and not all of them are that good. There are some that kind of go overboard, and it sort of like goes into that Halloween 4, 5, 6 territory where it's too bombastic. But some of them, like this one that I mentioned, are really good. Of course, I have to mention the score. The score is as memorable as it was in the first film, and it's also been updated like most of the film, as John Carpenter came back and wrote a whole new score, but sampling his original score, and the music is just fantastic. It's great. It's lovely when you hear the Halloween theme setting in, and yeah, the rest of the music is really good. However, the two best things in this film have to be Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers. Jamie Lee Curtis gives a fantastic performance as Laurie Strode, returning to the role that made her famous, and yeah, it's great seeing her. Jamie Lee Curtis is a good actress. However, she doesn't do many roles, and here she was fantastic. It's great when you see her vulnerable, the acting that she does, and you know, the relationship that she's had with her daughter, and it shows that she's been scarred by the events of 40 years ago. However, it's cool that you see a different side of her. You see her like being really kick-ass, firing guns, getting traps ready, you know, just wanting to kill Michael. Very Sarah Connor-esque. But yeah, she just did it really, really well. Michael Myers is great in this film. He's really believable as the villain. You know, in some of the other sequels, he had sort of become like this super villain. However, here he's back to just being a serial killer who, you know, is very patient. It's fun seeing him, like, trying to spot him, like, when he's killing people in the background and all that. So yeah, Michael Myers was the Michael Myers from the first film, however updated. So although there were lots of positives in this film, there were also a few negatives. So let's get in what I didn't like. So first up, I felt that Michael Myers took way too long to escape and start killing people, as the first 20-30 minutes of the film were spent with two reporters, which I didn't really like. One was very pompous, the other one was very snobby, and their whole plot, which then gets resolved, is not really interesting, and I felt we could have spent more time with Michael, and at least Michael stalking his victims, as it was with the first one. The first one was a slow build, but it was fun seeing Michael in the background, you know, stalking his prey. In this one, we just have these two reporters, which at the end of the day were kind of pointless. Another thing is that some of the kills are way too bombastic, and they really could have fit in some of the crappy sequels. Case in point, Michael stomps on someone's head and his head literally explodes like a pumpkin. So yeah, I didn't really like that much. Another thing, the film has way too many pointless subplots. I mentioned the reporters one, but there's also one about Laurie's granddaughter, and then there's one about a doctor, which I won't get into because it's kind of spoilers. But really, all these subplots, that was just time wasted on them. However, probably one of the biggest issues I had with the film, which other people might think it's not an issue, but for me, I was kind of like that, is that the film is way too familiar. It feels way too much like the 1978. Now, that was one of the selling points, that it would be a proper sequel that would feel like that, and you kind of get the feeling that you've seen it all before. It does take a sort of twisty at the last bit, but for most of the film, yeah, it's sort of like just going by the numbers, and that was okay, but you know, you kind of want them to shake it around, make something different. But I felt they played it too safe, and it was, yeah, way too familiar. So before I give you my final rating, let's have some fun. Let me know in the comments, what would you title this film? You know, because we got Halloween, Halloween, and Halloween. Let's give it a subtitle. Let's get creative and have some fun. So in conclusion, I will give this film a 3.5 out of 5. The film was pretty good. It had some really good tense moments, some scary moments, and some good jump scares. However, it was also way too familiar, that it felt too much like the 1978 version. It also had some really bad kills, some really stupid kills. But on the other hand, it really had a really kick-ass Jamie Lee Curtis. However, if you're a fan of horror and the Halloween series, I recommend you check it out because it's one of the better sequels in the franchise. So I want to thank you all for watching this video. I've been Ash. If you did like the video, maybe hit that like button. And also, if you want to watch my review of the original Halloween, click on the link below. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you've seen, maybe hit that subscribe button too. And I will see you all next time. Bye bye.